That's good. Luisa Fernandez, she's saying hi. Hello, Luisa.
Hi, Louisa.
So let me ask you something. The first question that I wrote here is like your name, like your new artistic name, because to be honest, Elsie, you are very intriguing as an artist because there is a lot of interesting information about you, and I kept reading stuff about you, getting to know you better, and a lot of questions came out on my mind. I started reading the lyrics of your songs and I said, "Oh my God, what's the background of this girl? She's interesting." So, first of all, why did you change your name to Elsie Bay? Your real name is Elsa Solev.
Sølvesvik.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Solesky.
Sølvesvik.
Solesik.
Almost.
Yeah, but anyway,
No, you're fine.
but why did you change to Elsie Bay? What's the idea behind it?
Well, so I did have a duo project called Elsa and Amelia. So like we just took
Mm,
my first name and her first name. And I was going to go with Elsa, but then you know this Disney movie, Frozen? It's
yeah.
Princess Elsa. Yeah. So I thought, okay, maybe it's smart to go with an artist name that like if somebody is looking for it and they Google it and they will actually find me and not Princess Elsa from Frozen. So I was trying to do myself a favor there. And I asked my mom like, what do you think? What kind of artist name could I have? And she was like, oh, you need to pick Elsie because I was gonna name you that. And then Bay is just like a Google Translate it from Vik from my last name.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. I think it works well. I think it works well. I think it sounds good. It's a good
Thank you.
last name.
I spent like 6 months trying to figure it out, just coming up with weird suggestions, and this was definitely the best suggestion that I could come up with. So,
Indeed. Indeed. I think it was a good idea. We have some people here. We have João Diogo saying hello.
hello,
We have Claudia Freddy saying hi.
hi there.
And you last year you composed Which Woods, which was a song that qualified to the final. Very good result actually. But have you ever thought in the middle of the process to perform the song, or you wrote it for a different artist already?
Which woods?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was asked actually if I wanted to do Which Woods, but I felt like if I was going to do MGP, it needed to be with a song that would do well next to the other songs that I've written for myself. And I felt like Which Woods was a little too different from what I wanted the Elsie Bay project to be. So I love Witchwoods as a song, but it's very different from my artist project. So,
Mm.
so I'm
And
really really glad we found Emmy because she fits perfect for that song.
yeah, it looked. She really looked like a witch in the middle of the pro. Like I felt like I was in the middle of the woods and somebody came up with her face. Like oh my! It felt very special. Um, but like, let me ask you something about. I'm actually very anxious to know about how you compose your songs, because there is something always very interesting in the lyrics you write. Which words, Death of Us, the lyrics are just marvelous. And we also have, you are one of the composers of the finalist Hammer of Thor. So it's just you always pick very interesting topics and work very well with your composition. So this is very intriguing for me. I had questions to be asked before that, but I'm very anxious to know that how is your the process of writing your songs. How do you get inspiration from?
Well, I think it works a little different from every session. My favorite way of writing music is to go to the studio with a producer so that the producer can start the track and I can focus on the vocal melody and the lyrics. And in terms of lyrics, like the Witchwoods concept was something that I made together with Ollie, who was the producer, and Morten Frank, who was the other songwriter. So, so there we were kind of like bouncing ideas from each other and just talking about what this song could be. We had the task that day, it was written at an MGP camp, and the task that day was to write something weird. So we just talked about how can we make something weird that would fit with the MGP concept and with, television. Because MGP is very visual, as you know.
Yeah.
And Hammer of Thor was kind of the same thing. It was also written with Morten Frank and Torgeir, the producer, and Oda, who was the singer. We just really talked about it and kind of came up with ideas in a conversation. And with Death of Us, I was sitting alone on my computer with the lyrics. And that is just a mashup of old ideas that I've had. So I do write a lot of lyrics all the time. And I think maybe that's the key to coming up with good stuff, is to continue to always do it. Because a lot of what I write isn't as good as Death of Us. And I think I need to write all of that in order to find something really good.
Mhm. Because the first verse of Death of Us, it's very striking. Like I keep imagining she's such a young girl, she's 25, and she came up with that. Like the devil hides between the Jack and the King, a Jezebel, filling space in your sheets. Like I was immediately okay, I need to listen to this. So this is the most intriguing part of Death of Us for me. Like, how? Where did it come from?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. Well, okay, so the devil hides between the Jack and the King was something that I had in my notes, or
Mm,
like some part, like yeah, something like that was in my notes, and I had to make it fit with the syllables of the song. Um, but that idea I must have gotten, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago from watching a movie or something. Um, and and the Jezebel just kind of came to me. That is so weird. I'm sitting there and I've written the devil hides between the Jack and the King, and then I'm like, and I feel like, yeah, I need something, something, Jezebel. That sounds like, what is that? And then I googled it, and I was like, yeah, that fits. And I have no idea where these ideas come from. But yeah, they're there sometimes.
it sounds very spiritual, like the stuff that you write. And I went to look for your your education, like your academic background. You have a couple of degrees. Can
I
you
do.
talk about that?
Yeah, I have a bachelor's degree. I think that's at least what it's called in Norway. That's 3 years.
Mm.
So a bachelor's degree in political science and a bachelor's degree in criminology. Um, and I am 2 subjects short of a bachelor's degree in law, but I have to do 5 years if I want to be a lawyer. But yeah, I'm missing 2 subjects, and then I have at least 3 of those years. Um, this is just like what I would I would really call it my hobby. So like music is my job, and then political science and criminology, and that is like a hobby of mine.
Oh, really? Because it feels that um that I am a professor, so I do understand what's the process of reading stuff. It's very tiring working in a university or as a student or as a professor or as a researcher. It's very tiring. But something that I've learned during this process is that we do have very good artists in the academic environment. So this is this. Do you think that your studies help you, like your discipline or something like that?
Well, yeah, probably. For discipline, and also like criminology and law stuff, and true crime and all that can be very dark, so that helps with the with the dark writing style, I would say.
Exactly. It's
And of
amazing.
course, like a lot of the books that we have to read in school are in English, so that helps with like
Mm.
expanding all of the words that I know.
Mm. You probably read Jezebel in a book and it just came to your mind while you were writing and
Yeah, sometimes that just happens. Like something comes up, and then I Google what it is, and then it fits, and I'm like, yes.
good. So we have some people here. We have Vera saying, "Oh my God, the Queen Elsie. Good luck to Saturday."
Thank you so much, Vera.
Marcelo Marteleira, he's part of our channel. He's saying
Oh,
hi.
hi.
Gonçalo. He say Norway is my favorite Eurovision country, so I'm rooting for your victory.
Thank you so much.
Marcos is saying Elsie's here, my favorite to win everything.
Thank you. Ah,
Yeah, this is something that I always ask everybody that comes here for the interview because the Eurovision experience tends to be very overwhelming for your artists, right? So, like, how is that? Like, because you're a big favorite, so you probably receive a lot of messages, a lot of comments. People are always very positive about it, but it can be very overwhelming. How do you deal with that?
well, I mean, I try to just make time for it so that because the overwhelming part is when I feel like I cannot, like I don't have time to do everything that I should do. So whenever I get a message, I feel like I owe that person an answer and that person deserves an answer for taking the time to reach out to me. And when I get a lot of messages and I have a lot to do, I need to like schedule time for like, okay, it's really important that I practice my staging and that I practice my singing before the show. That's the most important thing so that I can give you guys a good show. But it's also important to like take a few hours and respond to everybody. And so I try my best to do that.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea, right? Schedule everything. Hello, Elsie. I love your songs.
Thank you so much.
I really love Death of Us.
Thank you.
Wow, I wish I had a hobby so productive like that.
Well, to be honest, you guys do not want to see my grades.
Well, well, that's
Well,
that's just a detail.
yeah.
Lyrics plus melody plus your voice equals winner.
Thank you so much. I really hope so. I really hope that I will get to experience Eurovision.
Hmm. Let me ask you something about. I would like to change the subject a bit. And your cooperation with Emily, you do have a project, right? You released two very successful albums. The albums are very good, and like what is nice is that it feels that the Elsie Bay project is an update of Elsie and Emily. It doesn't feel that you are a completely different artist. That's at least how I felt when I listened to the tracks and I listened to your songs as a solo artist. It feels that okay, this girl, she was doing this stuff and now she's doing something better, like she's elevating herself. So, do you plan to come back to record an album with Emily, maybe in the future, or the project is still on pause?
I'm not going to say that it's never going to happen, but
Mm,
we have not planned to do anything more together. So for now, it's definitely on pause, and I'm going to continue to release music as Elsie Bay. And it
mm,
is like you say. I think I'm not too far away from the Elsa and Amelia project.
no.
We were two friends coming together, writing music together, and I feel like the Elsie Bay project is just taking Elsa out of Elsa and Amelia and continuing.
Mm, that's good. Have you ever thought about taking part in MGP together, like back in the time?
Actually, no. We never did any sort of competition or anything like that.
Mm,
So no, we no, I don't think we ever talked about it. It was just yeah, I don't think we thought about that.
mhm. Maybe it was not in your plans. Maybe you have different stuff going on, right?
We went to high school also when we did the project. So for us, it was a lot of just being in the studio and going to school and trying to manage everything. So
Yeah, so yeah, you probably did not have time for to think about a competition like MGP, which is very intense, right? Mm, what about Hammer of Thor? Because it's so different from the stuff that you write, but it still has this Witch Woods feeling on it. Like it's not that different, but you say, oh, yeah, I can recognize Elsie on that. So, how was the process of writing Hammer of Thor? Why did you guys choose Oda to perform it?
well, so Uda was in the session from day one. So she was
Mm,
singing on the original demo, which is why it was really easy for everyone to just pick her as the artist because it was kind of written with her vocals on it. um, and it was on a songwriting camp, and it was actually the day after I wrote Death of Us. So I was, after, having written a very depressive song, I was feeling like, yeah, today we can do everything. We can go crazy. And yeah, Hammer of Thor, it was also written on the last day of the camp. So I feel like everybody in the room was like, okay, in a little bit of a crazy mood. And we are doing a lot of stuff in that song, like changing the tempo and stuff that isn't normal in pop music. So we had a lot of fun.
Let me ask you something about the presence of women in songwriting, because we still do not have a lot of women, and you have two songs, you had three songs in the last 2 years of MGP, and I'm pretty sure you're going to continue working as a songwriter. And like, how do you feel that women are represented in the songwriting process nowadays? Because most of the time are just guys. Okay, even
Hmm.
sometimes the song is super feminist, but it's written by a guy. So
Right.
how do you feel about that?
Well, I cannot speak for like what's happening outside of Norway because I've been locked inside of Norway for the past few years. But I feel like there are a lot of male producers in the Norwegian music business, but I do feel like there are a lot of female artists doing well in Norway, and a lot of female songwriters as well. You know, starting to do very well, which is good. I for sure have never experienced not being welcomed in the music industry, which I'm very very grateful for, because I know that that hasn't always been the case with women. So I feel like at least where I am working, we are moving in the right direction, and
It's
I'm
good.
hoping that that's what happens everywhere.
It's good. It's good. Like the last time that a song written just by a woman one was in 2017 with Luisa
Hmm.
Sobral, who composed Salvador Sobral's song. It's the first and only winner so far from Portugal. Do you remember that song? Do you
I do.
like it?
I
Yeah,
do. I do. Absolutely. It's beautiful.
yeah. Maybe we can have another woman win Eurovision as a composer in the future, right?
That would be amazing.
Mm. Let me ask you something about the performance in the final. You already said you're going to change it,
Yes.
right? So can you give me some details about that?
I would rather not, if that's okay.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I have spoiled that we're going with a microphone stand. I can say that.
Oh, there's going to be a microphone stand.
Yeah,
Oh, I like that.
me too.
Hmm, sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a question here. Actually, Natalia Terry saying, "Hi, Ocean is one of the songs of my life." Oh,
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me because Ocean is actually one of the songs from the Elsa Emily project that's kind of like one of the Elsa songs. So yeah, that means a
really?
lot to me. Yeah.
Elsie, do you keep track of the other countries in Eurovision? Have you heard the other songs? Are you
I
following the
have
selection?
I have heard a few, but I am struggling to keep up to date with everything. So, um, yeah, give me this week and the MGP final to be over, and then I will step up my game and pay more attention.
Can you say some of the songs that grabbed your attention? Anything from Portugal, maybe?
Well, actually, I have not paid too much attention to Portugal, I'm afraid, but
Oh,
I will, I swear.
that's okay. So, Elsie, when you wrote Death of Us, did you have someone in your mind, or can go to that, or you can go to that place of writing this kind of songs without had the experience that what the experience what the song is about?
Hmm. Like basically, if this was a personal experience or if I made it up, kind of.
Mm,
Um, so no, this is a personal story for me. I mean, there are a lot of dramatic pictures here in the lyrics, but I was definitely having something in mind when I wrote it, for sure.
mm. Can you share a bit, maybe?
Well, I have thought about it a lot. Like, how do I boil down like this whole story into something very concrete that I can talk about? But and it's important to me that people can interpret this song in their own way, and that it can mean different things to different people. I think that's what is beautiful with music and lyrics, that it doesn't have to be like this is what it's about, but it can be about this for one person and that for the other. But for me, I think this song is about accepting that you love who you love, and that unless you accept that, you can't start loving that person. And we don't choose who we love, and yeah, so just accepting that we love who we love is basically what it's about for me.
Mm. I did really like your first performance. I loved the instruments back there. I felt like it was something that was coming to an end, and you were talking about the death of it. I did feel the whole thing, and the lighting. It was marvelous. Who created that atmosphere?
It was the NRK team.
Who?
The team from NRK, the production team, they are doing all of the staging shows.
Okay, okay. So did you were you involved somehow? Did you change, put
I was a
something
little
on?
bit involved. Yeah, I was a little bit involved, but I am more involved now, I would say.
Okay, okay. Let me. Can I ask you something about the performance? Just something very tiny.
Hmm.
Are you going to be alone on stage?
That's a secret.
Okay. So we can review the microphone stand. Can we review the color of the outfit? It's going to be a jumpsuit. You look very good there, by the way,
Thank you.
with that jumpsuit.
Thank you. Well, no, I don't want to. I don't want to reveal anything more. We still are doing some test runs with it,
Mhm.
and we have some plans for this and that, but it also might not work out. So I don't want to,
Mm.
hint to something, and if it doesn't work, then I'm like, no, we didn't change that after all. Um, so
There was a part of your performance that was very touching for me, and you, you started singing the song with your hand in your heart, right? Were you thinking about someone while you were performing?
to be honest with you, I don't remember a lot from performing that song. um, so yeah, I think I was just like focused on getting it right, because it
Mm,
was the first time, but so that's what I'm trying to work on now with the next performance, is to be so confident in what I do that I have time to think about more than what I need to do.
mm. Well, at this point, you have two songs released as Elsie Bay. Do you plan to release an EP after MGP or maybe an album?
Yes, I do. I have a lot of songs that I've written, and they are almost finished, so they will come out. Yeah, some this year, and hopefully for the years to come.
That's great. That's great. Let me ask you something. After this all Eurovision shenanigans, do you plan to maybe in the future write a song either for MGP or to another country? Because like I know some artists that say, okay, no, I took part in that selection, I took part in Eurovision, it's over for me. I will never get back there again. It's too much. It's the experience of a lifetime. And we have some artists like the Carola, Didrik, Alexander Rybak, because it seems they got addicted to Eurovision.
Yeah.
Like, so they are always there. They are always trying to find somewhere to get involved. Monza Merlot too is in the same uh, field. So, would you try again, or do you think, okay, I had enough. I'm going to move forward.
Well, I do think that right now I'm very focused on this year, um,
Mm,
and to do well this year. So I'm not planning to enter as an artist next year or the year after that, but maybe in the future. I do also feel like MGP should be a show where a lot of artists get to show their stuff. So I wouldn't want to come back like every year because I feel like it also needs to have other artists. But like if people want me to come back, I will definitely consider it.
It's amazing, Elsie. We have some comments here. We have Marcelo saying, I love Death of Us. It's a great song.
Thank you.
The best part for me of the performance was that part after the high note ends and it came the blinding light and you were already in another position singing. Yeah, that was the T girl. That was crazy. Like that performance, like it was pretty good. That's because it feels that the song was so personal. It was so about it was about such a personal experience that the camera, it would be hard to make a staging performance that would fit the idea of the song, and you managed to do that because the lights, the darkness, the instruments back there, like everything was so on point that I almost feel sorry you're going to change it.
Well, thank you. We're not gonna change it. I'm hoping we're gonna change it just for the better. That we
Good.
take the parts that were okay and make them really great, and keep the parts that worked really great. That's at least the plan. So it's not gonna be a totally different show, but just an update, really.
Good. Good. We have Aerobio here saying, "Come to Brazil, Elsie." Have you been to Brazil, Elsie?
I have not. I would love to. I would definitely love to.
It's a lot of hot. It's very hot in here. It's very hot. I have a cousin who got married to a guy from Norway. She lives in Norway now, and
Hmm.
she says, "Oh, it's a totally different reality."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It is. It's cold up here.
Pretty much. Leandro here saying hello, olá Sanyo, hello Elsie.
Hello.
Elsie, I would like to also ask you something about the production. You told it, but you kinda answered that for me. But I would like to know, how are you involved in the production of the song? You just suggest things, or can you just work with that equipment too?
So I am not a producer, but I have years of experience sitting behind a producer, looking at what they're doing. So I am not completely blank, but I cannot do it myself. I would have to have somebody else do it. So I can come with little suggestions and stuff. And for composing the music, I do not play the piano, but when I
Mm.
hear Andreas play, and I can come with suggestions like, no, what if we go like this, and I sing the melody to him, and he can make changes. And same with like the drums. I was very involved in making the orchestral drums without actually being the one to make them, if you know what I'm saying. Um, so I definitely needed the guys to produce this song for sure.
Mm. But because so you don't play any instruments.
I do play a little bit of guitar, and I know
Mm.
my way around a piano, but yeah, it's not like I could play a concert or anything.
Okay. Okay. So Elsie, just to some people, if you guys have questions, just please come up with questions for Elsie. Elsie, I would like to also talk to you about the way that we do have a lot of expectation when it comes to you because you are one of the favorites in the odds. You are one of the favorites of the fans. How do you feel the pressure, or you just chilling? You think, oh no, I'm just going there, I'm going to do my job and that's it.
Well, I think I'm trying to stay focused on what I need to do. At the same time, I know that if a lot of people have a lot of expectations, I cannot meet all of those expectations because people are going to have different expectations. So, sometimes it might be a good thing to not be like the super favorite, and other times it might be a good thing. So, I try to not think too much about it and just focus on what I need to do to give everybody a great show.
Good, Good. Do you have it? This is a tough question. You don't need to answer, but probably somebody's going to ask this eventually for you. Would you which of the songs compete in MGP, even those that were left behind? Because I had a conversation. It was a live chat with one of the Gustav Daulander. He's involved in Melody Festival, and he told me something that sometimes these kind of competitions are a bit cruel with the songs because the songs are left behind, and
Hmm.
the festival environment sometimes it harms the artist because people think, oh, it lost, so let's forget that song. It's not, it lost. People they have this kind of feeling. But would you say that which songs would you say that, oh, these songs were very good? Let's not mention Hammer of Thor and Death of Us for sure, but like which songs do you think were very good in MGP this year? Doesn't need to be a finalist.
Well, I'm very impressed by Farida, but at the same time, she's my friend, so I'm a bit partial there. And I was very impressed with Elena Noelia as well because her singing,
Oh yeah.
she was in the same heat as me, and I was hearing her for the first time. I was walking through the halls of the arena, just minding my business, and then I heard her singing the song on stage, and I thought, oh yeah, they're probably just testing the audio like the Spotify version because this cannot be live. And then I moved on to the stage and I saw that it was live, and I was like, what is how can she? Because her vocals are really, really good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites. A shame it didn't make it. Such a good
Yeah.
song. Yeah, that's a shame. That's how these competitions work. Sometimes the songs are left behind, and we that's the thing that we as fans we should not forget these songs. Like we should always listen to them, support the artists, because like the competition is like that, but we cannot be like that. You know what I mean?
Agree. Agree.
Mm. Okay, so last question. If people
Hmm.
have questions, please ask. Are you ready to go to Turin?
I am so ready. You have no idea. I am just waiting for the Norwegian people to agree with me.
Yeah, because it's going to be 100% televote if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes.
So it's going to be them. Everybody's going to perform. Then there's going to be a top four, then a
Hmm.
top two, right? Just like
Yes.
last year, right?
Yeah,
Mm,
pretty much. That's what we've been told. Yeah, 10 to 4, and then 4 to 2, and then the two perform again, and then it'll be one.
mm. Okay, okay. I tend to agree with Norway.
You do?
I, I do. I tend to
Hmm.
agree with them. I think you guys usually make good decisions. I also tend to prefer when you guys have semifinals. I think
Hmm.
it's better for
Hmm.
Norway. You guys are better with semifinals. I think one day show is boring for Norway. You guys have a good music industry. Don't you agree? Because like it feels that if it's only one day show, you there are not many diversity. The artists, many good artists are left behind because they
Hmm.
do not have the opportunity to showcase their their potential. You know.
Yeah, no, I think definitely for like the fans and for us who are involved, it's really nice that everyone gets to have some time with their show and with their song, even if they're probably not going to win because there's only going to be one winner. So
Mm, mm, mm. Okay, Thiago Diniz is saying here, I trust Norwegian televoters, I guess.
we'll see. Right now, Subwoofer is the favorite, so they might take it.
Yeah, let's yeah, let's hope everything goes well. We know. Let's hope everything goes. It's not a bad song, but yeah, it's that's it. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, guys, thank you very much for being here. See you next time. Today we are going to have a chat with people from Misia Eurovisia. They are. I probably pronounced it wrong because it's Polish and I don't know, but they are from Poland and they're going to talk about Festival da Canção, which is the Portuguese national selection. and I'm going to talk about the policy selection. So we're going to have a nice chat. Me and a guy called Mateus. Okay, that's it. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.